Hey everyone, H here. I'm just going to give a quick video on how to change the front caliper brakes on a lexmoto xtrs 125. This will work for most of the Japanese, Chinese bikes. They're all the same sort of setup, and it is the same sort of setup for the rear ones if you've got rear caliper brakes as well. So here is the caliper. What we're going to do is we're going to have to remove these two bolts down here first. I'll take it off and I'll show you what it looks like. These little tabs will be pointed inwards towards the bolt, so you're going to have to get a hammer and a flathead screwdriver, just bang them out. But once they're out of the way, we can come in with a ratchet. We find the right size. There's always the opposite one. There you go. I'm going to take it off. The bolts and the bracket themselves can actually stay there because it's just going to be the back that comes off. There we go, and that is the caliper. Right, so this rear bracket can come off at the back here. Let's try and keep you in shot. There are your brake discs. As you can see, mine are quite worn down. So what we need to do is we need to take out these two Allen screws, and that will release the brake calipers, the brake pads. So what I'll do is I'm just going to grab a Allen key, and I'll show you that coming off. Right. Ooh, get a shot. So there are one or two things you can do before taking these off. You can actually get a large flathead and help push the pistons back in, because these pistons will need to be pushed back in to fit the new ones in. Before you do that though, the most important thing you need to do is you need to take the top cover off the master cylinder, the brake cylinder here. That is because we're going to be pushing fluid back up, and obviously that fluid needs somewhere to go, and it's going to cause a back pressure. So the likelihood of spilling a little bit of brake fluid here is quite likely. It takes .3 or .4 brake fluid, really easy to get. I've got some that I'm going to use to top it up because I know I am going to spill it. If I could get you in shot, I seem to be doing that a lot lately. Right, so that's the master cylinder. You can see there is a little bit of room in there, but we're going to see how it goes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do it the cheaty way. And I'm going to use the flathead screwdriver just to push the two pistons in. So I'm just going to wedge it in there and slowly push. And it's got to be slowly because this brake fluid is going to squirt absolutely everywhere. And you can't see because it's off frame, but take my word, brake fluid is actually squirting down the side of the bike. Right, I'd say they're quite well in. So now, get the Allen key. Just take those off. That's one out. That's two out. And as you can hear, the brake pads fell out straight away. So now that they're out, let's grab the brand new kit I got again from online Chinese motor parts. No, Chinese motor parts online, if I can get it right. They were £4.19 at the time, just replacement ones. They are the OME spec, so I cannot go wrong with spending that, really, can you? So let's just break this open. And there are your new ones. So if we grab one of the old ones, do a little bit of comparison, you can see, especially down here, there's a lot of material missing. This brake has actually only just gone through its MOT, and I'm quite surprised really that it's passed, because underneath you can see there, good one, the bad one on top. Well, with all that material, that's clearly broken off. How it passed, we'll never know. So, all we're going to do is line this back up. So we'll have one here, and put it around the right way would be the best idea. And then one on that side. Then we're going to have the annoying thing of trying to get the bolt back through and back into the holes. There's little holes at the bottom of the brake shoe that's got to go through, and then little clips. So it's always best to keep the flathead screwdriver on hand. There we go. Let's push that down. And that's one in. Let's try this side, see if that one's going to be as nice. It's one down, it's two down. Again, we've got the little clip we need to get it past. It's past. Just a case of re-screwing it back in. So really, guys, it is that simple to replace your brake pads. I mean, what's that? It's going to be what? 5 minutes? 5-6 minutes at the most? Obviously these, screw this on. So that goes on. Use the little flathead screwdriver, just push them to each side. Like so. Right, so I'm just going to quickly pause, get it back in position, and we'll put it on. Right, so what we've got to do is put this bracket back on, which just slides into the two slots, like so. And then we have to line it up with these behind here. So I'm going to take out one bolt. Both out then. And try and get this in shot without you getting my head in shot. So we're going to grab the bracket and we're just going to look through there. Just to line it up. And then we'll do the same with that bottom one. Put it in. Line it up. Give it a tighten. Now, you can bang these little clips back into place. There isn't much room. I'll probably do the bottom ones. To be honest though, I don't see really the point. But that is on. Right, so that is the main part of the job done. What we're going to have to do now is we're going to have to pump the brakes. And what that will do is that will push the pistons back out to the right level. If you don't do this before riding it, you'll find out really quickly that you've got no front brakes. You have to pump the fluid back down, because what we do is we pushed all the fluid back up into the lines. You've got to pump it back down. Now it's going to take a while to do that, but while that's happening, every time it gets rather low, top the reservoir back up with some .4, because as you can see we lost some, so it's quite low. So all I'm going to do is just sit here and that's just going to pump the fluid down into the line, pump those pistons out, give it a nice tight gap seal. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it, Let's grab a torch. Get you zoom down. No. You can just see there that they're making nice contact. Yeah, you can see right down there now. Making contact. So that should be all good. So that's going to be a, I don't know, less than 10-minute video, should we say, on how to just change the brakes. That cost me £4, 19p. Obviously I've got the .4 brake fluid. If you're really careful and you don't actually spill any, it's not going to be a cost. So rather than going to a garage and paying, what, 50 quid to have the brakes changed, you can spend £4, 20, do it yourself, and you're good. Right guys, the only other thing I'm going to do, which won't be in this video, is the bike doesn't have a fuel filter. In fact, it's just designed not to have one. But considering the fuel, especially in my area, is pretty crap, I'm going to add a fuel filter. So I'm literally just going to cut the fuel line in half and add this in. Make sure you always put the arrow the correct way the fuel flows. So this has to come from the petrol that's going down to the carb. There you go. That's it. Thanks guys. Take care.